Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Everyday Us. My name is Mariah.
And I am Ian.
And Chickpea has better things to do right now. If you were here with us last week, we spoke about the ups and downs of traveling as a couple. And this week, we're going to dive into spending alone time and how you navigate alone time in a relationship. Is it possible?
And just because you're in love doesn't mean you need to spend every waking moment together.
I guess.
In fact, solo time can actually make your relationship stronger. So definitely something I'm happy to dive into.
I mean, I think it is hard to navigate alone time when you are starting out as a fresh couple. When you are new, everything is so exciting. You want to be with each other 24/7. And for a little bit, you kind of forget about your friends. And when you are in that honeymoon phase of your relationship, that can be okay. Enjoy your partner, learn everything you need to know about them. But once you settle into your relationship, you really need to learn how to find things on your own. What did you do before this person entered your life? How did you spend your quality time? And so I think alone time looks different in two ways. You can spend time individually where you're working on your self-care, doing your own hobbies, having your quiet times. And then there's also time spent socially, but apart. Hang out with friends, doing different social groups, different activities that you try to get into where you're meeting new people. That doesn't involve your partner, and that is completely fine. I think Ian and I, we do a great job at navigating alone time individually as well as socially. We have a lot of hobbies that we like to do, and we also have lots of friends. So we're always going out and catching up with someone, whether if it's just a quick drink or dinner. We try to make time for other people in our lives because your partner is not the only person who is important to you, and you cannot forget about everyone else who is in your life. That's your family, your friends. We need people. We need a community, and your community is just not a party of two. I'm sorry to say it.
Party three. Chickpea, baby. But very true, very true. Like Mariah just said, the honeymoon phase doesn't last forever. So it's all about just figuring out how to handle that, how to balance that life with your own personal life, and kind of not forgetting who you were before the relationship, before you embedded yourself into this new life, and just remembering the small things that you used to do that made you feel sane, made you feel happy, made you deal with a tough day, and yeah, kind of taking that and stepping forward with it. So self-awareness, self-growth is just as important as growing in a relationship. Always.
Yeah, those are great benefits. There are so many benefits of being alone. And it creates excitement and new things to talk about when you guys are back together. We need that. And I feel like COVID tested a lot of relationships because you weren't spending time separately. You were together 24/7. One person wasn't going to the office and the other person going to their job. You're working from home. You're together more often than you normally would be. Normally we spend most of our times with our coworkers, which is so insane because you don't get to choose your coworkers. I mean, you don't get to choose your family either, but you get to choose your partner. But you have to learn how to create a separation. And even working home together, you and I, if we're both home at the same time, I tell him, I'm like, do not talk to me until it's lunch. And Ian would always come into the office and just be like, hey, how's it going? And I'm like, what do you want? He's like, nothing. Just want to see what's up. And I'm like, sir, can you back away? Can you go away? I love
Most
you.
Most of the time it's me telling her coffee's done. Or her giving me the look like, why are you? Like, okay.
That means I always forget about my coffee.
But always.
We just need to create that separation. So once it's 5 o'clock, we get to come together and spend time and actually listen and hear about each other's day. And even when you are in the office and say, if I'm home, you'll call me during lunch and that's great. We'll catch up and figure out like how the day is going. The only time I do not like when you call me is when you are heading home from work and it's like, bro, I'm going to see you in 20 minutes. You can tell me about your day then. I don't want to hear the taxis and the horns, everything in the city going on. Save it to when we get home. Save that phone call so that we're in person. So
It's
knowing
rare I
when
do the end of day call, but if I do, it's usually something I see during my commute home. Mainly something at like Port Authority.
Right. Oh my gosh, it's always a show there.
So much end of day excitement.
Exactly.
But much like Mariah just said, it's nice to still have that balance. And like you mentioned earlier, with COVID, I remembered, yeah, that was a clash. Honestly, it was my self-care routine clashing with your self-care routine. And there were times that like I remember you did help me. Like I remember we were doing a lot of what were we doing? Not yoga, but we were doing oh my god, just
What, acro?
no, it wasn't acro. Where we had like we set the timer for like 10 minutes. Oh, we'd meditate.
Ah, yes, yes.
Yes. I was always curious about that, but during COVID, that was the first time we were at some botanical garden and you said, okay, let's set a timer, let's sit here. And later on, I ended up doing that. Like, I remember you went back to your apartment during COVID. I was by myself, had the apartment to myself, put on nature music, and just sat in the apartment and meditated. And that was huge. That was good. I was doing that once a week, I'd say, during COVID. We were also doing a lot of hiking as well. So that was pure meditation, just while burning calories.
Movement, meditation. And you and I, we wouldn't even talk to each other while we're hiking. We're there together and we are just walking in silence. Sometimes we'll have the music, the speaker going, but it's just meditative, as well as that's why we love to paddleboard. Whenever we're paddleboarding, we're not having conversations. We're just in our own zone, just letting go of everything that we were holding on to throughout the work week and just letting it flow away into the water. You can find things to do together, but also separate, where you are just being and staying still and not having to fill in every quiet moment. There can be peace, there can be stillness without there being chatter. You don't have to fill it all in. And if you are not meditating, I highly suggest that you start meditating, starting your day with a little meditation, taking that time for yourself to reset, see what you need so that you can go about your day. And like I said, when you center yourself and you feel good, you can show up for your partner. You cannot show up with a half glass. Eventually, you will get tired, you'll get stressed out, you'll get irritated. So when you take that time to think of what you need personally, because you are an individual, once you cater to yourself, then when your partner needs you, you're not going to be like, well, I also need this and I need that. And who's going to take care of me? You need to take care of you first, sweetie. Do what you need to do and then show up for your partner. Then show up for your kids. It's a lot. But
it is a lot, but it's necessary. So even if it's just a few seconds, anytime you can step away, it'll make the whole difference. It'll make the week. It'll make the month. So, and it's also healthy.
Yeah.
Good part of the diet.
Right. And wanting alone time doesn't mean that you do not love your partner. Don't be afraid to set boundaries and say exactly what you need. At the beginning of our relationship, it was hard for Ian and I to spend time on the weekends because my weekend, your girl becomes a bear. I go into hibernation and I sleep all day. And Ian is just like, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, why are you napping? I'm like, just take a nap. Why can't you nap? And he's like, I don't nap. I don't do that. So it took him a while to realize that I love to nap. I need my nap, we're not negotiating. I'm not trying to stay up. Like you just said, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of the day. It's a beautiful day out. Let's go out and do something. That's great. You can do something, but I need my sleep, because if I don't have that, then I'm groggy and I'm cranky. So I'm really glad that we are finally at a place where I can take my naps and you can do your thing. And another important thing, before I take a nap, I have to choose what we are watching. And Ian gets annoyed with that because he's like, you're just going to fall asleep. And I'm like, that is fine. You can change it after. But in order for me to feel like I'm having my own space and having my own time, I need to have that like TV, my little junk show on, whatever I need that soothes me, calms me, that'll put me right to sleep. And I let him know, once you hear that one or two snore, change it. Put whatever you on. Do whatever you need to do, but let me feel like I have somewhat of a control of my day. Let me put on my Lifetime movie. Let me fall asleep, and then
Lifetime or a Hallmark, always.
And then he can do whatever he wants. Watch whatever action movie, any movie that I would usually say no to. He can watch, play his video games. But my nap, it's very, very important. Very important.
And that's your style. For me, more so, it's honestly just taking a walk. Like, every time we go,
You love to
I
walk.
need to go grocery shopping. I love walking. She always insists that I drive. Oh, you're going to have all these groceries. But for me, it's more so like, no, I prefer the walk. I'd rather spend the 20-minute walk, get in the steps, put in my AirPods, listen to music, unwind, call family, talk to my grandmother. I talk to her. I talk to family every week, but stuff like that's just, it's important to me. I feel it. I find it necessary. Even just going to commute out, see friends here and there. If I have time, I'll take a walk, jump on the bus. Never need to Uber or anything like that. So, and it's all about the hobbies. For me, it's, like I said, walking. Sometimes I play hockey. Sometimes I'll golf by myself. Anything. And a couple months ago, you had book club, and I went to go see a movie by myself.
Oh yeah,
Before
I
that,
thought
I
you
had
went with
dinner
a friend.
by myself.
But you went to
I was
it.
trying to, but he wasn't a fan of the movie, and I was. So, we had that. And I was like, you know what? I haven't had a
Which I'm a
date.
little annoyed, because you chose a movie that I would actually be interested in seeing. And then when I guess it came out on like TV or something, I was like, oh, let's watch this. And you're like, I've already seen it. And I'm like, when? He's like, that time that you had book club. And I'm like, all right, sir. That is when you watch Die Hard, something. You watch something that I have zero interest in. Not a movie that I would actually want to see, okay?
Yeah, there were slim picks at this theater, so that was that. But anyway, going back to the point, that was me time, and that felt very, very nice. So
And it's
stuff
so
like that,
good,
once
yeah.
a month, once every few months, very healthy. A random guy I remember started talking to me at dinner, and it was nice. But at one point, I kind of gave him a very short, quick response, like, "Hey, it was nice talking, nice catching up, but I'm kind of in the middle of a me time, so if you don't mind, just keep watching sports, pretend I'm
Right.
not here." Like, obviously, you can't say that to people. You almost want to wear a shirt saying that, like, self-care right now, self-care mode, back off, or talk to you later. Maybe we can get those shirts printed. Who knows?
Right? Meditative shirts. We'll think about it. New merch coming soon. But spending time alone, it helps that you are not codependent on your partner. We have a partner. We have friends that we love. They are a couple, and I would say they could benefit for working on doing their own thing. I believe that it's hard for one or the other to hang out by themselves without including their partner. And they bring so much to the table as an individual. I think it's crazy that they always want their partner there, because I'm like, you speak for yourself. You already do amazing and great things. And I love our couples date. Like, I love us hanging out with other friends. Although, and this is a call out, Ian's friends, you guys need to do better because we have not been on a couple date in a really long time. You guys know who you are. Let's set something up. Unless one of the guys are getting married or something, we don't ever get together. Even the girlies, if you're one of his friends, girlfriends, wives, fiance, wifeys, let's get together. Let the boys do their thing. Let us do our thing. Talk our ish about our men and get it together.
All the tea.
All the tea.
All the tea.
But if you are a couple and you notice that your friend invites you out and your first thing is to, oh, wait, can I invite my significant other? Think about that. Take a moment. The answer is probably no, but take a moment and really think, does your partner need to be here? And again, it's always fine to have your couple dates, but you also need to, the guys need to do their thing to like by themselves. The girls need to do their thing. Like separate the time.
Oh, of course. Of course. You need that. Like you said, it's that break. It's that time away that makes you honestly long for each other. Mm-hmm. Or, you know, like all the times I'll text you when I'm out, be gone for like a weekend with my friends. I'll be like, oh, I miss you.
I know.
Can't wait to see you. It's been so long. It's been 48 hours. So
I think we're great at not texting each other when we are away with friends. I mean, obviously, it was different at the very beginning of our relationship. But once things settled in, especially as we're married, if you're going out with the boys, I'm like, all right, see ya. I do not text you. I don't ask when you're coming home. Like, where you going? Like, no, we're out.
Yeah,
Unless I like need something, if I need you to like pick up something like on your way out. But other than that, we do our own thing. And I'm so upset because the other day you had a guys hangout and I had the night to myself.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought of, oh, should I go hang out with friends or should I just stay home? And know that if your partner is having a night out with friends, that doesn't mean that you also have to have a night out with friends. You can take up the opportunity, go out, or just stay home and do what you want to do. Put on that face mask, that foot mask, watch your TV shows, whatever. Have your little girl dinner. Allow your partner to have a good time without you thinking that, oh, they're having a good time, I need to have a good time too. We're not keeping scores of, well, you went out with your friends 5 times and then I only went out once this weekend or whatever. Do what's best for you. And in our relationship, we don't ask for permission. We communicate. We let them know. The only thing we ask is, hey, do we have something going on that weekend? No, we're not doing anything. All right, cool. I'm going to go hang out with the boys. Or I'm like, all right, I'm going to go and do this. But like, I'm not like, can I go hang out with the girls tonight? Like, no, I don't own you and you don't own me.
No. Although there are all of those little pop-up things that we end up doing that you just sometimes don't really communicate. When I go to say, hey, I'm hanging out with the boys this weekend, FYI. Yeah, sure, enjoy. Oh, wait, you can't go. We have dinner wherever the hell with people, and then just like that.
Is it pop-ups, or does this man forget that we have plans and then make plans on top of that?
Or does someone not communicate with me that we have plans? Yeah. How many dinners did I find out of day of, sometimes hours before?
Because you did not listen to the conversation that I had weeks ago when I planned it.
No, because you
not a
had the
thing.
conversation.
That's a you thing.
You had the discussion for dinner and then just forgot to share that information. But that's regardless. That's so whatever.
like what we like to say here, communication is
key.
Have a calendar that is out in the living room, on the kitchen, in the stove, on the fridge.
A Gmail share calendar, I think would be easier.
Just write down all of your events, anything that you guys have to do together so that you can avoid said conversations of telling the person or not telling the person when they do not have plans. Nonetheless, it is so important for you to have separate plans from your partner. But tell
Well,
us,
there it
what
is.
are some of your hobbies that you love to do before and after dating me? And are they still the same?
That's a great question. I'd say they're pretty much still the same. Yeah, before you, I was playing a number of different sports. I, yeah, play roller hockey to unwind, ice hockey, and then golf here and there, usually with friends. A few times I would golf by myself, and that was honestly
Although
just
I hear you're not a great
fantastic.
golfer, so that
Oh, of course,
sucks.
I'm a horrible golfer. Absolutely horrible. I get out maybe 4 or 5 times a year, so my game's horrible. My clubs are even worse. But it's so fun, honestly, just to be out there by yourself in nature, beautiful day, cooler full of brews. It doesn't matter if I shoot in the hundreds, which I do average, but it's nice just to be out there. And if I play by myself, alone, especially early morning golf, that's like pure meditation. I'll walk the course, talk out loud, talk to myself. And yeah, that's always great. I love that. Hockey is the same way. There's times where after a long day, after a long week, after whatever the hell, I just want to get out there and rip some slap shots. And that's always the best. The only negative is just those games are late as hell.
So
and
late.
Come back feeling like I just got hit by a truck, only to have to wake up at 5 in the morning. So that's just the only negative. But no, I mean, I still love it, honestly. Like the adrenaline gets you going. And even though I hate the preparation part, once I'm playing, once I'm skating, it all comes together. And just like that, my mental health, I'll feel a complete just 180 from where it was. Like I'll just
I love that.
like, everything will just feel right, you know? And that's the beauty of it. That's absolutely just everything. It's therapy.
And I love watching
Self-therapy.
your games, although
You barely go.
okay,
But thank you.
I do.
That's good. That's good.
rude.
Truth.
I just cannot stand driving home with you after the game because I
That's more
cannot
like a foot.
breathe with his hockey bag. Ladies, I pray if your man does not play hockey or your child that you don't ever have to experience that smell because
It's the
I'm
smell of a
literally
man.
a dog with my head all the way out the window, like trying to breathe. It is
It's good for the sinuses. Just let it be. Just let it be. So yeah, sports. And like I said, just walking. Walking I love to do. Once a week I'll have a day where I just call family. And there was a time where I used to unwind a lot by just speaking to my grandma. Just letting everything out, telling her everything. I almost treated her like my therapist. And it still is.
Does she
And
give you
it
advice
is
or does she
therapeutic to
just
talk to
listen?
her. A bit of both. A bit of both. But like the one thing I forgot is when you talk to your therapist, you have that confidentiality. So they can't talk to anybody. But with my grandmother, and I learned this the hard way, she'll just go on tour with the information I give her and sing. And then before you know it, I'll have family reaching out, being like, so you're doing what? You're thinking of what? And I'm just like, oh, like, how they find that out? Who told grandma? And it'll just hit me. My engagement, honestly, that was one thing. She was one of maybe two people I told those plans about. I kind of expressed my feelings about with what I was going to be doing, just unwinding, of course. And yeah, she told you.
She
and
calls me. She's
almost
like,
ruined
so
it.
I hear someone's getting engaged soon.
Oh my God. Yeah. But you had a minor surgery done. And of all things to ask you, hey, how are you feeling? How are you recovering? When are you going to be able to go back to yoga? When are you going to be able to go back to work? Skipped every single bullet right there and just went straight to, so I hear you're going to be getting engaged too soon. Is that true? A little bit off topic here, but that was one of the times where me, with my self-care, vented to basically, the matriarch of the family, thinking it'd be okay. But yeah, family, just think twice before you do that, because that family grapevine.
Yeah. And for me, the way how I spend my solo quality time to myself is honestly teaching yoga. I know I'm sharing my energy and space with people, but teaching allows me to open up. I always start class with the Dharma on how I'm feeling and what's going on. And I just speak, and the students aren't speaking back to me. They're not giving me their advice. I'm just letting it go, putting it out in the air, and see if people feel the same way or have had similar experiences. So going to yoga, whether going to
Yogurt.
yoga, yogurt, go-gurt. Remember those little
Of
slippery
course.
go-gurts? I really have time to relax and feel like I'm not performing, whether I am teaching or practicing. So I'm really happy that I have yoga in my life, and now Pilates is something that I'm doing. And as Ian mentioned earlier, I joined a book club, I believe in the middle of 2023. And it has been such a saving grace to be around new people. We meet once a week, and once a week, we meet once a month. And reading is my alone time that I get to have my little quiet time to myself. And joining the book club, I get to go out and be social, because as I get older, I try hanging out with friends, but hanging out with Chickpea just seems like so much fun. So book club helps me get out and share time with other people besides my partner and besides my cat. So I encourage all of you to find something that you love and find a group of people, and don't be afraid to try new things or be bad at something. If you want to get into pottery, look for a pottery class, and maybe you'll find new friends there, and see if you guys can go and get coffee after class or maybe before class. Pick up a ballet class or a new instrument. There are so many things that you can do on your own that'll help your creative juices flow and help you de-stress, so that you can show up for the people around you.
Well said. Couldn't say it better myself.
Oh no,
Self-care.
we all need it.
We all need it. Part of a good diet.
But there are certain things that we do separately that sometimes I would love to do together, like hockey.
Start playing hockey.
I wouldn't want to do hockey, but
No.
I would love to actually go ice skating. Like, I love that you ice skate, and I've always wanted to be an ice skater as a little kid, but I never did it. So I feel like that's something that we can do together, that highlights your talent and your hobbies. Even doing this podcast, it is like a couple therapy for us, a couple therapy session, but really we started this podcast mainly for Ian. You love doing voiceovers, or you want to
Yeah.
get more into that. You started taking voiceover lessons,
Yeah, very true.
which you should definitely get into. Explain to them about that. But, this whole podcast is so that we get your voice out there, so that people can hear you and be like, oh, this guy would sound great for a radio station or for an audiobook. So it's okay to have separate hobbies, but show interest and support them in their hobbies. Like, I have my yoga, but you come to my yoga classes and take my classes sometimes. And I love having you there. And with you being such a new yogi, I learned so much from you, because at the end of class, you'll be like, you said this or you did that, and that didn't really feel good. Or how can I do that? And I'm like, oh, so this is what you can do instead, or I'll give this option next time. So I'm learning from you as well as you're learning from me when I teach those classes. But like I said, encourage their hobbies, encourage what they love to do, show up to their games, even if it's only once or twice, still show up.
Truth.
Support them, get them gifts that'll help with their things, like getting you I don't know, your skate sharpened or more tape for your stick,
I would love
just
if you did that. That'd
certain
be great.
things. What are you saying that I don't do that now?
Uh,
Okay.
I mean, it's a great thought.
Well, the thought always counts.
It's the
So
thought that counts.
there are plenty of things that you can do to encourage and support your partner in no matter what they want to do. Like I said, they are an individual, you are an individual, and don't stop growing just because you are now in a relationship or married to someone. Continue to grow, continue to do what you love, and your partner will support you in whatever you want to do.
Exactly. Couldn't say it better. And yeah, like you support me with hockey and everything else. We've never golfed together. I'm still pushing that.
Yeah, no, that's his thing, his time alone.
Yep.
I
But
like my nap.
skiing,
He likes his
snowboarding,
golf.
those are hobbies that we both love that we do together. Bowling as well, we love doing. And
Although,
yeah,
let's
I mean
take a
that's
break.
different.
Hold on.
That's
No, because we do love to ski and snowboard together. However, this man has been planning trips without me to go skiing in the mountain with the boys. And he likes to say, "Oh, I try." But the boys said, "No, girls, we leave the wives at home." So again,
Literally,
Ian
yeah.
Friends calling you out again.
oh my god, Jesus!
Love you guys.
Shout out, like
I would
call outs.
love for all of us to hang out and go skiing and
I told you, their
snowboarding.
significant others do not ski, have never skied, aren't interested. Like this. I've been telling her this for years, but yeah. Anywho, yeah, her supporting me with this, me deciding to get into voiceover acting recently, and
How's
yeah,
that been going?
I mean, no, I took classes. I just finished a script I've been working on for years, and gonna try to turn that into basically my first real Audible book. So I'm excited to start setting up those chapters. I already did the artwork, which I showed you. I think it looks a little bit cheesy, but whatever the hell, and just go from there. Honestly, I just want to try to publish an Audible book and go. Yeah.
Great.
See what
I would
happens.
listen.
Oh yeah, the world will listen. It'll be a New York Times bestseller.
You guys
But
hear it.
she's here to support this vision, and yeah, just get fully behind me and probably be the first listener
Of course.
if she has the patience. It's a lot of chapters, but we'll see.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I love to read. Maybe I'll suggest
book
your
club.
book. Exactly, for book club, and it'll be our book. I'll let you know what we think.
Yeah.
So-
I think it's a great plan.
I know. Look at that. And one thing we haven't done, or not too often, take solo trips.
Oh yes.
We've done like solo day trips. Like you'll go to the movies. I'll take myself to the movies, or I'll take myself to dinner. But actual traveling, unless we're going to a bachelorette or a bachelor party, I feel like we don't really travel separately too often.
No, we really don't. Yeah, unless it's like a family weekend I have to go to, and you're teaching then, or have a birthday or something, so I
Right.
make the trip by myself. Yeah, no, it's very rare. It's very, very rare. But you do have a friend of yours who goes on a lot of solo trips, and I'm always curious because they're not like domestic. She's like going to like Thailand and New Zealand for weeks by herself, and there's times where I'm just like, okay, like I could see you wanting to do something, like maybe going to like some sort of day spa or something like that for the day, or maybe a long weekend. But being alone traveling for weeks, like if anything it just freaks me out, because if anything were to happen, you're by yourself.
Yeah.
So that's like the one thing. And then of course the other part is just like, okay, are you trying to get away from me for a while? Is it going to be the same when you get back? Is it me?
No. And again, that's exactly why we're here and what we're talking about.
Exactly. I mean, a few days, like I said, is fine. But for weeks, a country that you've never been to, that I'm just like, okay, she may or may not come back. Because for me, I feel like I don't even know what could happen if I get out there and lose my passport or this or that. And I don't know. Think I meet a couple cool people at a bar and then wake up hanging upside down in a meat locker. Like, I don't know. That type of stuff just, yeah. So it's more of that freaks me out. But, I'll just make sure you have a a kit with you in case anybody attacks you.
But that shows how relationships are all different. It's not a one size fit all. Us with our sports, when I'm doing my yoga, he gets to play his video game, or he's out with friends, then I get to nap. Your alone time, your quiet time can look different. It can look different from how we spend our time. It looks different for you. So for that couple, the wife loves to go on solo trips without her husband, and that's completely fine. It works for them. For her, she's not going to wait around for her husband to go on trips. Where her job, she can take unlimited vacations, and whereas his vacations are limited. So instead of just waiting around for whenever he can travel, she's like, I'm up, I'm out, I'm going. And I encourage everyone to do that. Don't let your partner slow you down or stop you from experiencing something new or seeing something that you've always wanted to do. If your partner doesn't love to travel, then girl or guy, get up and get that passport and go out and travel. If you love to work out and your partner doesn't, then get up, go to the gym and work out. Do what you have to do. Just because you are a couple doesn't mean that you are glued to the hip. And we were recently babysitting, and our nephews are twins, and we took them out for breakfast. And this guy came up to us and he said, hey, I also have twins, and I'm on a date with one of them right now. And he told us when these guys get older, it's really important to take them out and do things separately. Just because they are twins doesn't mean that they need to be glued to the hip. They are still individuals. They want to have time with their mom and their dad, and not it just be the boys or the girls. They have a name. Know their name, acknowledge them. Everyone else in the world is going to try to group them together. But as parents, take time to show love to your twins separately. And regardless if they're twins or not, show love to every single child that you have individually. Look them in the eye and let them know that you acknowledge them, you hear them, you see them. And with your partner, I acknowledge you, I hear you, I see you, and you do the same for me. And part of seeing me and hearing me is knowing that I need my own time, and so do you.
Oh, there it is. Heard it best. And that goes into my next point. How do you spend your alone time in your relationships? Do you and your partner have different needs when it comes to space? Let us know. Please reach out in the comments. And getting into next week, we're getting real about love languages. How we express love and what happens when our love languages just don't match sometimes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, great things to come next week. And as always, thank you and happy MLK Day from Everyday Us.
Yes, even though you will be seeing this post MLK.
But still.
Every day we still celebrate to unite everyone in this country. We are all human beings. We all deserve peace. We all deserve love. And we all need to come together. Support your neighbors, no matter the color of their skin.
Love thy neighbor.
Yes.
Yes.
Support everyone. Give everyone grace, no matter of their social status, no matter, like I said, of their race, and no matter of their age, young or old. We all deserve grace. We all deserve respect, and we all deserve love. So thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Love ya.
Every day, every day, every day, every day.